Well, another season draws to its conclusion. The 8th we've done here on Channel 4. How was that for you guys?
Well, it was boring in terms of Max Verstappen dominating a lot of races. So
great start, Mark. Yeah. Well, it was boring.
But having said that, I think the sport, the field, just how tight it has been, and some of the battles we've had within that have been, pretty special. 21 as a season, we look back and say the championship was won here on the last lap between Lewis and Max. That happens once every 20, 30 years maybe. So that's really not the benchmark we'd like it to be. Every now and again, a team gets the regulations right. The sweet spot's there. Best driver in the world, Max Verstappen. So stars have aligned, and it's just been an extraordinary season for them, and no one's had an answer. Yeah,
he's been utterly devastating, Max Verstappen. So let's spare a thought for a man who has the hardest job in Formula One, his teammate, Sergio Perez. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, being Max's teammate.
I know, but he did start the season strong, and I think...
2 out of the first 4, I think, yes?
Exactly. I think maybe that's where it went wrong, because he then probably put himself in a position mentally where he felt he could challenge Max. He didn't want to be the number 2 at that point, and then obviously Max comes in with the form that he had and just destroyed him for the rest of the year. So it was brutal, but that said, I completely agree with Mark. I think the competitiveness beyond Max, and even including Max, I think the level he's taken the sport to, the level he's operating at, I think any sports person can look at that and be impressed, and I think that's something to be celebrated.
100%. If we could put Max aside for a moment, though, who's been your driver of 2023?
Tricky. I think easy to shine a spotlight on the rookies and not being biased, but I think Oscar is definitely up there as someone I've been super impressed by just in his first year in Formula One. But also Alex Albon, seeing things in the Williams garage. It's not a tricky environment for him to come into, having been in a Red Bull, and he's just been a great team leader in that car and taken a lot of points that been needed for the team.
All right. For you, Mark, let's put Max and Oscar aside, because we know you're his fairy godfather. Who's been your driver of the year?
Well, I am privy to a bit of information, so it's you can make, I suppose, better judgments of how people put a season together. And I think Lando has driven very, very well. He has been very, very consistent, struck off a lot of new things in terms of, like podium consistencies, different tracks, different just experiences for him in what has been a very, very strong season for him. Yes, he's done 100 Grand Prix now. He's well into his Formula One career.
He's a Centurion.
Exactly, but he's delivering with Jamie, Alex Albon, very, very good season. And I can't forget my old mate, the Spanish Matador, the old Spanish dog. He won't mind me saying that.
Not at all.
He is, you can't, he just, when he puts that helmet on, Fernando's like, it's me against everyone.
He makes me so happy, Mark.
I think I'm going to say scared.
No, just happy. The stuff he does in that car. It's fantastic. And to see a guy in his 40s doing it, that means a lot to myself and you. Jamie, favourite race of the season, please?
I feel like it's very easy to go for the one race Max didn't win. But honestly, I'm going to say Vegas. I think that's the closest we've seen the grid for the whole year throughout. And obviously for a new track, for that to happen, I think promoted great racing. It was nice to see there being a battle for the lead, but all the way through there was some really, really good racing.
You weren't with us in Vegas, Mark. You would have watched her on the box. It was a fantastic race, wheel-to-wheel stuff, yes?
Yeah, no, absolutely, mate. No, it was. It had a bit of everything, didn't it? Strategy was awkward, a few safety cars, temperature was cold, the drivers, you can see, again, someone like the calibre of Lando Norris dropping the car early in the race, bottomed out and bang, he's in the wall. So when you see a driver that does that, it gets all the drivers' attention, like, this, already focused, be like, this place can bite. So cracking Grand Prix on the Saturday and Sunday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday was a bit ropey, but they recovered well.
Here's the big question. I'd like to get an answer from both of you, starting with Jamie. How do you think 2024 is going to unfold? More devastation from the Red Bulls?
It'd be hard to bet against it, but, all the teams know what they're working towards now. They know what that gap is. I think it's easier to be the chaser than the chased. Chasey?
Chasey, yeah.
That's the term.
Chaser and chasey, yeah.
So I like to think it's going to close up. I have every expectation Red Bull are going to come out of the blocks flying, but we can hope.
Difficult to disagree with Jamie there, I think.
Yeah. I think Max is going to have a very cruisy winter. He's going to come back and won't be going for 4 very quickly.
He's just going to sit on the simulator for 3 months, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, and also, the problem is, mate, when they've been that dominating, they can actually just preload next year's car for more of the same. So that's what the team have to break. The other teams have to break that cycle. It's not impossible. Red Bull did it with Mercedes, but it takes some doing.
In Max Verstappen, there's a competitive streak that does not sleep. What will happen in 2024? You can find out right here on Channel 4. Thanks for all your company this year, and we look forward to seeing you in February, where we go racing once again. Thank you. Bye-bye.